Hello and welcome to another episode of Salary Voodoo, the show right here on the MMA Engine channel, where I, your host Monk, aka the Monkmatician, give you three fights that we go over from a GPP statistical heavy Salary Voodoo side of things, a little different perspective, if you will, when it comes to breaking down fights specifically for GPP tournaments this Saturday for UFC San Diego, headlined by Dominic Cruz and Chito Vera. What is Salary Voodoo, guys? Well, it is a way of getting some information that's not readily available to the public regarding salaries, like the win percentage, how the optimal percentage. How many times does lightweights make the optimal lineup? How many times does someone from the 10th fight of the night make the optimal lineup? Stuff like this, like I said, that no one else is going over, give you a little bit of an extra edge when it comes to constructing your GPP lineup. So guys, please like the video, subscribe to the MMA Engine channel. It is me, Weezy, Brady, and Lou Betya bringing you content several times a day, several days a week before each and every UFC card. And this week is no different. So be sure to hit that like and subscribe before you get on out of here. We'll take about 15 minutes, go over three fights. But before we get started, I need you guys to comment down below what fights you want to see me break down from a Salary Voodoo perspective for next week's card. We have an absolute banger card, and I want you guys to be involved. Please give me three fights in the comments below that you would like me to go over. This week we had a ton of God, I can't even speak. Sorry, I'm a bit under the weather this week. That's why the video is a bit late. So bear with me. We had a ton of submissions for this week. I was able to get to three of them. So hopefully if I didn't get yours this time, I'll be able to get it next time. So be sure to comment down below and we will be all good for next week. So guys, without further ado, let's get right into it. First fight of the night that we are breaking down from a Salary Voodoo perspective is going to be the $8,900 Martin Buday, who it looks like just came off gastral bypass. What's that? No, he did not have surgery. His body just looks like that. Okay, cool. Well, that is how a heavyweight athlete looks in the year 2022. Martin Buday, fantastic. Did not have gastro bypass surgery. 7,300 Lucas Brzeski, who is coming off of a Dana White Contender Series win. Somebody that I always look to fade, or our Dana White Contender Series people. But let's see what the Salary Voodoo has for us. This one picked by Tommy Touchy. Thank you so much, Tommy, for your contribution. Heavyweights make optimal at a 55.74% rate. Fight number 6, someone from that fight makes optimal 52.86% of the time. We're off to a great start. But the salary pair of 89 and 7,300, when it's matched up, someone only makes optimal 42.86% of the time. That is a very low number. Let's get into some of these salaries here. The $8,900 salary has been used 59 times since January 1st of 2021. Only made optimal 11 times for an extremely low optimal percentage of 18.64. That is very, very low. Very low. Has a pretty bad win percentage too for such a high salary, 62.71%. That is the lowest win percentage between 8,600 and 9,600. 62.71%, very, very bad. And optimal when it does win, less than 30%, guys, for such a high salary. These are terrible numbers. 99.58. Martin Buday, your salary is disappointing me this week. Lucas Brzeski, 7,300, has been used 57 times and has made optimal 2 more times than its counterpart, its more expensive counterpart, for an optimal percentage of 22.81. You want this number over 25. Anything over 30 is fantastic. 22.81, not great, but still 4 points better than $8,900 as a win rate of 33.33%. When it does win, guys, it makes optimal 63.16% of the time. Average DraftKings points per win of 92.46. Tommy Touchy, I think you can guess where we're going with this one. These numbers are trash when we get into the salaries. We got ourselves a Frozen Jack here, guys. Frozen Jack, he is here to show us that we have a cursed fight, a hexed fight, not a good fight for Salary Voodoo, according to the numbers. However, Buday and Brzeski, I mean, could this finish very quickly, like Nicky Gums and Ihor Pateria? Maybe early in the second round, could be, but it could also be a hold fest. Who knows what's going to happen? But according to the Salary Voodoo, it's very bad. 21st best salary for $8,900. It's like the 7th highest salary, the 21st best, 10.32. Absolutely unplayable in GPP tournaments. And the salary score of 8.9, salary score for 7,300 is 8.97, the 16th best overall. So not great, but better than its far more expensive counterpart, guys. Fight number 2. Let's get Frozen Jack out of here. He's scaring me. Bruno Silva going against Gerald Meerschaert. 7,200 for Meerschaert, 9,000 for Silva. This is picked by Mahler138. Thanks a ton. We got a middleweight fight here, and they make optimal lineup at exactly 50% rate since January 1st of 2021. Fight number 9, a bit less than that. Someone from that fight only makes optimal 44.29% of the time, but the salary pair of $9,000 and $7,200 has a fantastic optimal rate of 54.84%. So 2 of 3 categories, again, over that 50% mark. We love to see it. Let's start with Gerald Meerschaert. 63 times the $7,200 salary has been used. Only made optimal 12 times, 19% optimal. That is not good. A win rate of just 25.4%. But when it does win, here's the best number out of all of the $7,200 numbers. It makes optimal 3 out of 4 wins, guys. Only a few wins, but when it does win, 75% of the time, it makes optimal 97.43 points per win on average. Let's get over to the $9,000 side. This side much better for Salary Voodoo. Has been used 62 times. 22 of those times it has made optimal. That is a fantastic number. In fact, the second highest number out of all numbers, out of all salaries, I should say, for a fantastic optimal percentage. Remember I said you wanted this over 25 and over 30 was good? Fantastic. This one's over 35. 35.48% optimal. Insane. 35% of the time it steps into the cage, it is optimal. And has a fantastic win rate of almost 75%. Optimal in wins, just 47.83%, though. That is a bit low for that range, but still, 22 out of 62 times is no joke. Average DraftKings points per win of 96. I love the Bruno Silva side here. If he loses, it's going to be Meerschaert by sub, but I think Bruno Silva can come out here and get it done. And the Salary Voodoo tells me that if that does happen, he will make the optimal lineup. So this one's going to be a Bernie, guys. We did it. Mahler138, you picked a great one. Some good Salary Voodoo here. The $7,200 side, not so good. 10.52 with a 22 or 20, the 22nd best salary score. So not great, but the $9,000 side more than makes up for it, guys. 6.26. It is the 4th best salary overall, $9,000. And if it does go the way I think it's going to with Bruno Silva getting an early TKO win over Meerschaert, Salary Voodoo backs me up here and tells me that this is a great spot to hammer at $9,000. So that's how I will be playing this one. Fantastic Salary Voodoo for this fight. Next fight. And before we get out of here, guys, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the MMA Engine channel, and check out Game Theory, my show where I break down all 13 fights from a DFS perspective on my channel, the Monkmatician channel. Link in the description below. Fight number 3, gonna be the main event. Picked by Godlike. Appreciate it. I love the fact that you picked this fight, God, because I would have picked the same thing. Cheeto Vera, 8,500, going against Dominic Cruz, 7,700. You thought the $9,000 Salary Voodoo was good. Well, check this shit out. Firstly, the bantamweight weight class makes optimal just under 50%. Not ideal, but it's just under 49.48%. Fight number 13, well over 55% at 55.56, one of the better numbers out of all fights offered. And the salary pair, I think this is the absolute best number. When 85 and 77 combine, one of them makes the optimal lineup 65.67% of the time, guys. 65%? Are you kidding me? Put these lineups in, or put these salaries in your lineups. We'll start with the 8,500, who has ridiculous numbers, in my opinion. Has been used 67 times, made optimal 18 of those 67 times for a 26.87 optimal rate. That is fantastic. Anything, again, over 25 is good. Over 30 is great. As a win percentage, though, as a favorite salary, this is the one stat I don't like for 8,500. 47.76% win rate. That is not great. It loses more than it wins, and it is a favorite salary. 56.25% of the time it does win, it makes optimal. That is a fantastic number, and an average DraftKings points per win of 98.06. And we get Cheeto Vera, and we get a 5-round fight against a guy that's tough to finish. This is a fantastic salary to target, 8,500. But here's the one that I will be looking at for Salary Voodoo, 7,700. Look at these numbers. Has been used the same amount of times as the $8,500 salary, 26 times optimal. 26 out of 67. That is the best. That is the highest number by far out of all salaries. 26 times optimal since January 1st of 2021. 38 38.81%, guys. 38.8% optimal. Are you kidding me? The second highest number out of all salaries. 52.24% win rate. As a dog, it has a 52% win rate. And when it does win, over 71% optimal. I mean, these are the best numbers, some of the best numbers besides the $9,500 salary. These are the best numbers out of all salaries. And the average DraftKings points per win, you don't know what, or you don't have to be told what I'm going to do for this one, godlike. It is obviously a Bernie. These salaries are incredible. The $8,500 salary, just under the top 10, 11th highest, 7.59 salary score, and you get Cheeto Vera. Fantastic. But the $7,700 side, 5.89 salary score, the second best salary you can play statistically for GPP tournaments is the $7,700, second best, and it's an underdog salary. Is $7,700, and it is Dominic Cruz. So before we get out of here, guys, let's do a quick recap of the fights that you chose for UFC San Diego. We got our first fight, Martin Buday going against Lucas Brzeski. That one is going to be a Frozen Jack, a hexed fight, a cursed fight, just according to the salaries. Not great salary voodoo on that one. But the next two turn it around. We've got Bruno Silva going against Meerschaert. We got a Bernie on that one, especially from the $9,000 side. But if Meerschaert gets a sub, that $7,200 side makes optimal 3 out of 4 wins. So a fantastic number. Gotta love that. A blessed fight for fight number 2. And fight number 3, the best fight to target, in my opinion, on the entire card. We get a 5-round main event between two guys that are extremely tough to finish, meaning high scoring possibilities here, and the best salary voodoo on the card, 8,500 and 7,700 between Marlon Vera and Dominic Cruz. So guys, that is going to do it. Target those two fights. Stay away from them. Maybe lower your exposure a bit on the first one. When some of these are cursed and blessed, I don't mean go 100% or 0%, although you can if you want. Just maybe under the field on the cursed fights and over the field on the blessed fights for GPPs. That's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to be way over on Dominic Cruz this week. You know, hit or miss. It's going to be, you have to play that salary. So guys, thanks a ton for sticking around with me for the salary voodoo. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you got some good information, and hopefully you can now construct those DraftKings lineups to make some money this weekend at UFC San Diego. Guys, that is going to do it. Check out the videos below in the description. Check out the videos from my colleagues at the MMA Engine. And as usual, I want all of you to enjoy the fight. So enjoy, and we will see you next time.